Hello and welcome to our winter solstice ritual. I'm gonna light a candle. If you have a candle you would like to light, you are welcome to join me. You certainly don't have to. This is going to be a mini ritual, so probably 15 minutes. It's not going to take up too much of your time, but it's still going to be really potent. And one thing that we know is true, all of our ancestors honored the solstice, the longest night of the year, the shortest day. And all of our ancestors, no matter where they were in the world, would have, if they're in the northern hemisphere at this time of year, would have observed this longest night as not only a moment of metaphor and deep spiritual meaning for finding comfort and hope in the longest night, but also knowing that starting tomorrow, the days are going to start to become a little bit longer. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, it would be the summer solstice, so it'd be opposite. I'm going to do a little bit of smoke cleansing too with some mugwort. Then we're going to pull a card from my ritual deck. I have no idea what's going to come through. I'm going to ask a question around what would be most supportive to us, or what do we need to know on this winter solstice in order to support our growth in the season ahead. We're going to do some work around holding reverence for the sacred dark with the longest night. And we're going to do some visioning, instilling hope for as the days lengthen, as we move through this season ahead. Now that we're officially in winter, what do we want to feel in this season, and what do we want to manifest? So go ahead and find a comfortable place for your body to be, making any adjustments that need to be made. And I want you to just imagine that you are sending your energy across time and space to connect with everyone else watching this presently and in the future. And based on the energy that I receive from all of us, I'll pull a card. Connection. That's the message that came through. Connection. All right. So I want to know in the comments what you think of first when you hear the word connection. What first comes to mind? Is it connecting with other people? Is it inward connection to the divine, to the sacred, something greater? I want to hear from you. What is the first instinctual, intuitive thing that comes to mind when you hear the word connection? What I feel is really present for us in this solstice is remembering the interconnectedness of all things. Oh, I see this. Okay, connecting with others, connecting with thyself, friendship. See, so many beautiful things. Connecting with others, connecting within. I'm thinking about the interconnectedness of all things and how connection brings us out of separation, right? And we are least likely to experience magic, to feel peace, joy, all of the happy things when we're in separation, right? When we feel alone, when we feel isolated. And there's a reason why, as humans, we've developed interdependence. It's why it's so scary to be left alone as a small child, because we're not meant to be, right? And I believe that as adults, of course, it can be helpful to have our alone time, but to be totally isolated, either physically or emotionally, right? You've all had the experience where you might be with other people, but they just don't get you, so you feel really alone, right? That disconnection, that separation, that isolation takes us out of our creativity and out of our magic. So this is a reminder to seek out connection. And this doesn't mean that if this doesn't mean that you don't have to uphold boundaries. This doesn't mean that like we're allowing people in or experiences in that are not serving us. But there's so much talk around boundaries, and I know that so many of us here in our community are working on boundaries with others, with ourselves. And I want to flip the script on that. Instead of focusing on, in this next season, instead of putting so much focus on boundaries, can we instead put our focus on creating connections in the spaces that are most supportive to our growth, in the spaces that are most supportive to our confidence, the spaces that help us feel most like ourselves? So let's do just a little practice with this and let me know if this is resonating with you. I want you to bring your hands together and rub your palms together to create heat. Heat is energy, and we're going to imbue this energy with the intention of connection. And if you would like to, you can close your eyes, though you certainly don't have to. Just begin to find your breath as we tap into this energy work together. Breathing in through the nose, expanding the heart, out through the mouth with a sigh. Then you can place your hands on your body, either on your heart or your abdomen. Finding this breath, allowing your exhalation to be a bit longer than your inhalation. I invite you to consider, where are the places, spaces, experiences, communities where you feel most yourself? Where do you feel most yourself? Just notice what comes through without judgment. Where do you feel you're able to speak your truth? Where are you able to speak your truth? Where can you most easily access your voice? I invite you, perhaps if it feels supportive, to even place your hands over your vocal cords, the throat chakra, the area where energy of communication is most potent. And just imagine that you're bathing this area in golden light. And I invite you to imagine yourself in this season ahead, speaking your truth without fear, standing in your own conviction and confidence. Then you can place your hands back on your heart and just imagine yourself surrounded by healing light, glittering golden healing light. I'm going to say a few affirmations, and I invite you to repeat them either in your mind or out loud. I am powerful. I am powerful. I am powerful. I trust myself. I trust myself. I trust myself. I want you to imagine yourself living in your fullest, authentic expression, whatever that means to you. What are the activities that you do when you are in your authenticity and you're expressing your authenticity? Where are the places you go, the things that you pursue, the goals you set, the people you connect with? And when the time feels right, just saying one little blessing of gratitude to yourself for showing up in this moment, to your ancestors, to the universe, to the land that you're on. And you can very slowly, gently begin to bring your awareness back to the space around you, eventually finding your way back to our shared space by allowing your eyes to open. Welcome back. I would love for you to share in the comments anything that came through for you. I was really feeling this, like we focused on throat chakra because when we energetically started to tap into this essence of seeking out connection, I could hear this fear that, let me know if this resonates with you, this fear of what if I say the wrong thing, or I can't possibly be myself in that space. They're going to judge me. They're going to think I'm crazy. Like there's just all of that fear that I was sensing. So let me know if that's you, of like what happens if I do try to seek out connection in these spaces, and what are other people going to think, this like fear of judgment. And what this tells me about the collective energy moving forward is that we get to do two things at once. I want you to continue to seek out the spaces where you feel most yourself. And if you don't have the answer to that, rather than judging yourself or feeling bad about it, trying new things, being curious, allowing curiosity to lead the way as your core energy in this season ahead. Perhaps the intention for winter is curiosity. The other aspect of this that I want you to hold on to, rather than setting like a whole New Year's resolution or setting a whole vision for the year ahead, what if instead it's just for this season? Just for this season ahead. Like, what does it look like from now until March for you to be in that intention? Okay, the other thing that came through is as you're seeking out the spaces of connection and as you're holding intention just for this season, also continuing to do the work of healing your relationship to your authentic voice, so that as you go out into the spaces and places where you want to be, you are speaking your truth in a way that feels good to you. That is, the other piece that's coming through is being really conscious of like Okay, I think so many of us can fall in this trap of thinking that when we're really activated, when we're like really in that sacred rage, which is a good thing, but sometimes we can be like, I'm speaking my truth, but it's like from that place of defensiveness and fight. And that's can be helpful and important, but what I'm more interested in is helping you build the muscle around speaking your truth, not from a place of fight or fear, but from a place of intuitive knowing and inner wisdom and self-trust. And those are two different things that can definitely overlap, but that's the muscle I want you to build is speaking from the place of inner wisdom. And so these are just channeled messages that I have for you. And I hope that as you move forward through this solstice portal, with the shortest day, the longest night, that these energies that we surrounded you with, we did some deep energy work together, that you feel really supported. I see, hi Maria. Maria says, I am my fullest self when I'm creating my art, especially my encouragement affirmation paintings. Beautiful, I love that. And hello from Indonesia, hi. Okay, let me know if this message resonates with you. I'd love to hear how you're celebrating the solstice. I got to play harp at an evergreen spiral, which is like, I posted about it in my stories. If you want to go back, you can probably still see it, but it's this big spiral of evergreen branches that is just steeped in ancient ritual and ceremony. And there's somebody sits at the center, and in this specific ceremony, all the children went to the person sitting in the center who had a candle, and they all had little candles, and they had their candles lit, and they placed their candles along the spiral, and I got to play harp while that was happening. It was so special. So that's one way I celebrated. This is another way I'm celebrating, and also just basking in the energy. It's a really potent time, and the winter energy is a wise woman energy, and there's this slow surrender, the quietude, the inward energy. And when I think of the ways to work with the wise woman, I think of the wise woman being, the grandmother who sings to you and places your head in her lap by the fire and pats your head and rubs your back and makes you a cup of tea. And that's the way I really want you to treat yourself. So see how you can bring that energy into your days, your weeks ahead as we move through this season. I'm sending you so many blessings, so much love. 20 minutes on the dot. Happy winter solstice.